Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. All right, I have had to delete and re-upload or re-download the Instagram app a couple of times, and so I feel like every time I go live, it's trying to teach me how to do a live. It gives me like this big tutorial. But got through that, so we're good. Hello, everybody. It is Friday. I hope you guys are all having a great start to your Friday and to your weekend. This is my regularly scheduled live. I go live every Friday here on Instagram at 12 p.m. Central Time. Hello, Sindra. And today, so what's been happening lately is I do a Crochet-A-Long takeover. So my regular lives are Friday here on Instagram and Tuesday over on YouTube. I feel like now that I'm on TikTok, I might have to go live on TikTok too at some point. Maybe those will just be like pop-up lives. But right now, I have been doing a takeover of my lives with a Crochet-A-Long. So I did this with my Luna cardigan, and everybody seemed to enjoy it, and I'm able to post these over on my YouTube channel so that people can go back and watch through and make a cardigan with me. So I'll show you guys where I'm at before I get started crocheting, or as my husband likes to call it, crocheting. So here's where I'm at with my cardigan. So I still need to do the sleeves. I'm working on the front border, so you can see where my yarn is attached. In part 6, which is posted up on YouTube now, I show where I attach for that, and I also showed how I did the hood. So this is the little hood, and it looks super shallow because the front border adds the width to the hood that you need to actually make it like a full hood. But I'll show you guys. I'll go ahead and put it on so you can see. I am making the small/medium size. This pattern is available in my Etsy shop, so you can see how little the hood is. But we're gonna get a nice big border on this, so that will actually create the width that we need here to make that a full hood, because right now it's just like a little cap. But that's how it's working up. And I'm using Aran Chunky Cakes. Let's see, I'll show you guys it's all coming apart. The cake is falling apart. Yarnspirations, Aran Chunky Cakes, and it is the color Sweet and Sour is what I'm using. This pattern calls for a size 5. Well, it calls for 2 strands of size 4 held together, which AKA equals a size 5. So I'm using a size 5, but you can use 2 strands of a size 4. And I chose this because it makes it a nice like summer cardigan. If you want a summer cardigan that's, you know, you can use like a linen cotton blend or something like that if you want to. But this is where we're at. I'm going to be working on the front border today, so I'm going to continue up and around, going up here all the way back around here, and then once you get to the bottom, you would chain 1, turn your work, and keep going. So that's where I'm at. I'm using a 10mm hook. Yes, 10mm hook. And I chose to print out the print-friendly version. So this is what the print-friendly version looks like. There aren't any photos or anything. Oh no, Sindra says FedEx lost your yarn. Oh, where did you order your yarn from? FedEx is pretty awful, if I do say so. They have broken quite a few things that we've ordered from them. So yeah, FedEx is no bueno. But I hope they find it or replace it or something, you know. I hope they make it right. Okay, so we are on to the front border, and let's see, I need to do 8 rows of half double crochet around the entire border, and I'm only starting on 1. Cinder says Joann's, but Lion Brand shipped it. That's interesting that you ordered it. I know Walmart does that for sure, but I didn't realize Joann's worked like that as well sometimes. Oh, and they refunded you. Okay, good. Well, maybe they'll find it. I know I have had times when something will get lost and then it'll end up showing up, and then they just let me keep both of the yarn things. One time Lion Brand sent me the wrong color, and they let me keep the wrong color and sent me out the new color. So that was nice, you know. I just need to like chill for a second and drink this coffee because it's really nice. And it was the 3 packs. And what yarn did you say you ordered for this one? I really want to try the Lion Brand Comfy Cotton and make my Pomona tee using 3 strands. I'm going to try that. I'm also thinking about rewriting the Pomona tee for a lighter weight yarn. I'll actually show you guys. Oh, the jeans yarn. You did tell me that. So this is just Lily Sugar and Cream Cotton that I'm trying to recreate my Pomona tee, but I feel like it's going to be pretty heavy because it's dense. So I want to find a lighter weight because this is 2 strands, and I think I used an 8mm hook or a 9mm hook. I don't think that's a 10. Maybe it's a 10. I don't know. We'll see. But I may do that because I do like the shape of the Pomona tee, but I think it would be nice in a lighter weight yarn. I think people would enjoy that. So, well, I would love to know if you guys have any exciting plans for the weekend. We are having some friends over that we haven't seen in a long time. So that's going to be fun. On Saturday, we're just going to like grill out. So that'll be a fun day, you know. But that's pretty much it. And we don't have any like crazy big plans. We're not going anywhere. You know, we're going to hang out at the house. But that'll be nice to have some friends over on Saturday or tomorrow. It is tomorrow. I need to clean the house though. You know, I feel like COVID really got me out of the habit of keeping the house super clean. So now it's, you know, I have to get back in the habit of dusting and vacuuming more often. But at least the dogs are outside now. Our dogs are, unless it's, you know, bad weather outside, they're 100% outdoor now. If it's bad weather, if it's cold, then they come in the basement. But Jamie says we're surprising Paxton with a bedroom makeover. That's exciting. Is he gonna have to help with it? You said you're surprising him. Is he gone? He's not with you guys right now. Is that so? Are you doing the makeover while he's gone? Driving to Phoenix to drop my mother-in-law off. Oh, comments are going, oh, quicker this time. With my sister-in-law, she's going to her house for 3 weeks. Okay, Phoenix. And how long of a drive is that for you guys right now? I can't remember exactly where you are. Making sure I didn't miss any other comments. Oh, yeah, so Jamie sees that his mom's tomorrow, so we have 1 day. Okay, so 1 day, and that's gonna be an undertaking. Okay. Yeah, my husband is actually fishing right now. He hasn't gone in a while. You know, before we moved, we were on a lake, so he could go fishing whenever he wanted, but now that we are no longer on a lake, it's a lot more of a, you know, he's actually got to go drive somewhere. His grandmother lives on a lake, so he is with his dad right now fishing, which is good. Like, I'm actually going to take the time, once I get off this live, I'm going to try to focus and clean the house. We'll see how it goes. I have other things that have been kind of creeping up and taking my time, and I get distracted very easily. But it would be nice if I could buckle down and actually get some cleaning done today. So here's how my border is going, by the way, just so you guys can see. I'm just working up the first front panel. The first row of this is always the hardest because you do want to make sure that you're placing your stitches, you're spacing them correctly so that it doesn't cause the front border to pucker or to pull. And right now, I feel like this looks pretty smooth. So I don't have any puckering. I don't feel like it's pulling. I think it looks pretty smooth going up the side. I'm trying to do 1 stitch per row. So the rows are going this way. I'm looking at the rows and I'm trying to place one stitch for each row. And I think so far that it's working. But that's why I'm not always as chatty Cathy on that first row, because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Okay, I made it to the corner. And then from the corner, I'm going to start working up the hood. So you guys can see this is the hood. So I worked up the front panel. Now I'm going to start working directly up the side of the hood and around, and I'm not placing any increases. So if you guys are following along or you're watching the replay, no increases, just go directly from working your half double crochets up the front panel to working your half double crochets up the hood. And the hood's the same thing. The front panel and the hood both used half double crochet, so you can try and place your stitches to where there is one stitch at the end of each row on the hood, which is what I'm trying to do. So having to focus a little bit more on this part. And thank you, my sweet DIY. I'm glad you think it looks good. I'm pretty happy with how the colors worked up. You know, the way that this cardigan is structured, it can definitely be a little weird, the colorway and how it works up, because you work that back panel and then you work the front panel, then you work the second panel. And so sometimes the colors can be a little weird if you don't plan them out. So if you're using self-striping yarn, it can sometimes be a little funky, but I think it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is right. Like I said, this yarn is definitely a little splitty for my liking. It is 100% acrylic. It's very pretty. It's working up really pretty. It's pretty soft, you know. And of course it's colorful. Yeah, I gotta have that color. Oh, and I finally found a use for, let me show you guys. I have to get this border done though, so stay on me. I have to keep crocheting, or this this crochet-along is gonna be like 12 episodes long to crochet this cardigan. Okay, so last summer I bought this stuff, Premier Cotton XL, and buying that yarn it was an example of why I try not to buy yarn and not have a plan for it, because I've now had it for going on a year and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. But if you guys have been looking at my feed, you'll know that I just did a testing call for my newest cardigan, which I am going to name it the Angelica cardigan. Because I did put out a poll in my Facebook group. If you guys aren't in my Facebook group, you should join. I love to do like polls and stuff over there that I can't do as easily on Instagram. But I did a poll because the newest cardigan that I did, and it's the one with the zipper, it was giving me the 90s cartoon vibe. So like 90s Nickelodeon cartoons. So like Doug and Rugrats and All Real Monsters and Courage the Cowardly Dog, and like all of those colors that were in that animation. It looks like Will Print for credits. Join. What you doing? You should be fishing. We're talking about you. I'm just kidding. Hey, I hope fishing's going good. So I did a poll and I put some of the characters that I thought might be fun to name them after that were still kind of generic character names, because I'm trying to make sure that I don't you know, get in trouble for like copyright stuff. So when, you know, I wouldn't have named it like the Angelica Pickles cardigan or the Rugrats cardigan. You know, I would need to pick just like the first name and go with that. So I put Angelica, Chucky from Rugrats, so 2 Rugrats characters, and then I did Eliza because one of my favorite 90s cartoons was The Wild Thornberrys. I really enjoyed that one. And there were a couple more, but Angelica won. So I'm going to call it the Angelica cardigan, so I'm super excited. Oh, and he is eating lunch. Nanny wanted to see what you're doing. Yes, so if she's watching still, I will show this. So this is my husband's grandmother who is watching. So I'm going to try this on again so that she can see what I'm working on. But this is the cardigan that I am crocheting live so that people can follow along. And like I said, the hood looks kind of silly right now because this front border is going to grow and create the extra width on the hood and the extra width on the cardigan. But that's what we're working on right now. Yay! Okay, oh, let me get this up again. Huh, okay. But like I was saying, if you guys have been following, you saw that I did a testing call for that newest cardigan that's now called the Angelica cardigan. And I made it using t-shirt yarn. Now, t-shirt yarn is actually pretty cool. I love what I used. It's really fun to work with, but it's not cheap and it's not easy to find. So the company that I purchased it from, called Hooked, H-O-O-O-K-E-D, they are based in Portugal. So the shipping to get their yarn, and their yarn is super cool, mostly, I think, because they use recycled remnants, which most t-shirt yarn is recycled remnants, but they work with local shops that create clothing, and they take their remnants to create this patterned yarn, and they have all these different cool patterns that you can choose from. But shipping is about $46 to $50 no matter what you get, and the more you get, the heavier the package is, so the more expensive the shipping is. And right now they don't really have any options for you know, if you buy a certain amount, the shipping is free. And I think a lot of it is I think they're a smaller company is what it sounds like, and they just can't, you know, they can't eat those shipping costs. So, you know, it's expensive, and I think that was one of the things that was holding people back from joining in on the test. So I said, okay, I need to try and make this cardigan with some other types of yarn to see what it would look like. And that's when I remembered that I bought this stuff, this Premier Home Cotton XL. It is a size 7, but I think it's a size 7 more so because the cotton makes it a little stiffer, so it works up bigger. And I assumed, like, I think it might actually work because the t-shirt yarn is considered a 6, but it's also pretty stiff, so it tends to work up larger. And I did a swatch and it worked. So I only had 3 of those cotton ones, so I had to order 2 more. And I just ordered them on Lovecrafts because that was the cheapest shipping. So they had them at a couple of different places. But I ordered that, and I'm going to make one out of that. And then I also talked to some of my testers, and I think some of them are going to try using double-stranded ribbon yarn from Hobie or, you know, somewhere else that sells the ribbon yarn. So I think that will open up, you know, that will make it, you know, you don't just have to use t-shirt yarn for it, but it does have a very specific shape to that cardigan. So I think that some of those other yarn options will keep a very similar shape, but will be more accessible, easier to find. You'll have more options that you can choose from. So I'm really excited. It's going to be fun. I do still need testers. So we're pretty much full up through like extra small through large XL. But if you want to test the 2X, 3X, or XL 2X, 2X, 3X, 3X, 4X, 4X, 5X, that second half of the sizing, I still need people. So if you're interested, you can always reach out to, if you're not sure, if you're going to be able to get what you need and you just want to ask, you know, what yarn might be best, you can always reach out to me if you're kind of on the fence about testing. Because I try not to be strict. You know, I want you guys to have fun with the test, have a good experience, and, you know, so you can always reach out if you're not sure, or if you have questions, you know. Okay, so I finished the first border row, so you can see the bottom piece here coming up, and then up the hood, around this side of the hood, and I'm about to continue down the second front panel this way. and I'll be done with the first row. And I have to do 8 of these. So, and I do say in the pattern, you can kind of try it on as you go. So once you get, you know, 3 or 4 rows done, you can try it on and decide if you want to do the full amount of the rows that it suggests in the pattern. You can do less rows, you can do more rows. It's totally up to you. And Sindra says she's going to test. Let's check into the test. Yeah, so just check the different yarn out and see. My border is half double crochet. So this whole border is half double crochet, and all of the rows are half double crochet on the border. Unless I read my own pattern wrong, which happens. No, it says that it's half double crochet. And the bottom border is single crochet. So we'll do the bottom border next. And then after that, we will work on the sleeves together. So, but I'm really excited about how this is coming out. Like I said, I only ever made one Dobby cardigan. So I'm excited to have a second one in a different type of yarn, because the one that I have is like a merino wool. So it's really not a summery cardigan. So I think this will be really nice for summer. And I am struggling to get this stitch through here. I told you this yarn is a little splitty. Okay, back on track. And I think I'm going to count, just to make sure my stitches are even, I'm going to count how many I have down my first panel. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So I have 28 stitches going up the front panel. So I want 28 stitches going down this one if at all possible. And I have 10 right now. Okay, so do 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We'll see if we can do this. 19, 20, 21, we're looking pretty good. 22, 23, 24, and let's see, 25, 26, 27, I think we're going to be right on the money. 28, yes, right in that bottom corner. Perfect. So that's a nice way to do that if you weren't sure, because I don't use stitch counts on the border. You just want to place them evenly around. And so you can go back and count how many you had on the first row, on the first panel, and make sure that you have that many down the second panel. And I had 28. So that is the first row done, and I'm going to move on to the second row, and all I have to do for that, and that's a lot easier because now I'm not having to count stitches. I like to chain 1, and then I turn my work to the other side, and I'm just going to work more half double crochet stitches all the way around. So thank you guys for joining in today. Like I said, this is your first time joining into one of my lives. I go live every Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, just to check in and chat and show you guys what I'm working on. But for the last couple of lives, I have kind of taken them over with a Crochet-A-Long. So I am making a sweater, and you are able to follow along with me if you want. This is my Dobby cardigan, and after each live is over, I post it to YouTube so that there is a whole playlist for this cardigan. So if you decide you want to make one, you can go back through and you can crochet one with me. I did this with my Luna cardigan, which is the one that I always tell people to start with if they're a beginner and they've never made a crocheted item of clothing like a cardigan or a sweater. And that is a 6-part series that is over on my YouTube channel that you can check out. This one is going to be longer. The Luna cardigan, you use like a 16mm hook, whereas this one you use a 10mm hook. So it kind of makes sense. The hook is half the size. The cardigan also has a hood. So this one will probably be closer to, I guess this is part 7, so 10 to 12 sessions for this one. Because once I finish this front border, I'm going to move on to the bottom border. And then once the bottom border is done, I still have to make the sleeves. So, yeah. Hello, Nancy. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. And these lives are still a place, if you're new to my channel, to my Instagram, to the Pink Sheep world, if you ever have any questions for me, you can always ask them during these lives. I love answering you guys' questions, chatting with you, seeing what you guys are up to. So you can always post those here or in the question box. And it gives me something to kind of chat about. I usually am live for about an hour. So I actually don't know what time it is. Let's see what the computer says. It is 12:25. Oh yeah, so I've got like 30 minutes left on my chat. Oh, I do think that I want to start doing more lives with other people. I know, right now I do my Pink Sheep and Friends, and actually next Friday, I'm going to be going live with Savla of Savla Bot, and we're going to be talking about her business. So if you have not checked her out, please do here on Instagram. She makes some really, really cute tags and things for your products. Ariana always loves my color choices. Thank you. This one was fun. This one, and I bought this yarn over a year ago. It just sat on my shelf. I knew I was going to use it for something because I love the colors, but I didn't know what. And so, when I was trying to plan out the next Crochet-A-Long, I realized this was the perfect opportunity to use this yarn because I had enough of it to make the cardigan, and it's pretty. So I was going to enjoy working with it. Nancy says, colors are pretty. Yep. Amethyst Mermaid Design says, yes, I love your Pink Sheep and Friends. Yes, so my Pink Sheep and Friends series started as a way to help grow my community and help grow you guys' community. So I find people who are a part of the crochet community, the fiber world, and we talk about their business. We talk about how they got started. We talk about where they get their inspiration from. It's really those basic introductory questions so that you guys can get to know some new people. But there are certain people that I've interviewed with Pink Sheep and Friends that I feel like we have, it's really easy to converse with them. And I think that it will be fun to start bringing some of those people back to talk about other topics, to talk about new things that are happening, topics in the crochet community. We could talk about yarn, we could talk about whatever, but it will be more of just a casual conversation between friends. So that's what I'm gonna try to start doing. But I do have some new Pink Sheep and Friends interviews that have already been scheduled. I think I have 3 scheduled, but this next Friday is going to be Savla of Savla Bot. So check her out. That's going to be a fun one. She actually collaborated with me on my Christmas mystery boxes. So when we did our Christmas crochet mystery boxes, I got to include some of her faux leather tags. So that was really fun. And I would definitely collaborate with her again on future boxes because I think that's always my goal. If I can collaborate and continue to grow my community and you guys' community and introduce you guys to new people and new designers and just new creatives, I think it's a great thing. So, but that's what I'm working on. Part 8 of this. So if you're following along and you're making one of these, part 8 will be this coming Tuesday over on YouTube. So if you don't follow me on YouTube or you're not subscribed, you can find me at youtube.com/pinksheepdesign. I feel like I just talked a lot. But this is going pretty good. You guys can see this is working up pretty smooth. I cannot pronounce your name, but hello, you are Turkish. Hello, are you in Turkey? I told Junke. I don't know how to pronounce your handle, but hello and welcome. Thank you for joining in today. But yeah, this is also, if you guys have not ever seen our pink sheep hooks in action, I am a knife grip holder, but these, especially the smaller ones, also work with pencil grip, so I can switch to pencil grip. I'm still pretty new to pencil grip. I taught myself just so that, just so I could give my wrist a break if I needed to. But this is how our pink sheep design hooks work with pencil grip. Can get that in there. Again, this yarn is splitting when I get towards the end. There we go. All right, I finished row 2. Row 2 is finished, and it switched colors, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to turn my work and start on row number 3 because I have 8 rows to do. All right, let's stick with pencil grip for a minute because I need to practice that. And this is our candy apple, no, not candy, Granny Smith apple release. We do still have a few of these in the shop, I think, that's like sparkly lime green, and it's UV light reactive. I don't know who's crocheting in black light, but I feel like I could go to like a rave, you know, and use the crochet hooks as like the glow sticks, you know. Okay, so switching back to, oh, yep. See, I got to practice. I did not learn pencil grip when I learned crochet, but I started practicing it last year. So when I think it was actually summertime when I started practicing with pencil grip to try to teach myself a new way to grip the hook. I think my tension might be a little bit tighter with pencil grip, but not enough to throw my gauge off. So I can kind of go back and forth. Okay. Yeah, this is row number 3. Yeah, I'm super excited to see this finished piece. It's so hard not to cheat, you guys. It's so hard not to turn this off and then work on this while I'm watching TV at night. I'm really having to practice self-control to wait until my live sessions to work on this cardigan. But I think it's really nice. I've said it before, but my goal with these live crochet-alongs was to really show people how long it takes me, you know, so they can really see, okay, this cardigan, even if I'm like talking to someone, would take, you know, 10 hours of time. You know, it's not crazy. And the Luna, I mean, I did the Luna in 6 episodes, so 6 hours and you can make yourself a cardigan. All right, I'm switching back to knife grip because I have to think about it too much when I use pencil grip. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, I just shared something new on my TikTok channel that I finished. I'll have to show you guys before I hop off of here today. I had some leftover ribbon yarn from Hobie, and their ribbon yarn is, you know, I need to do another post, but ribbon yarn and their Bungee Mini yarn, their Hobie Bungee Mini, and t-shirt yarn have really become my new go-to favorites for summer bulky projects, because I am definitely, I say like a bulky yarn connoisseur, but like that's all I use. You know, I only use bulky yarn, bulky or super bulky yarn. So that's my specialty. And so in the summer, I don't want to break from that. You know, I want to continue using it. And so that's why anytime I find a yarn that is any kind of cotton blend, but it's bulky or super bulky. That's what I'm gonna buy it because I want to try it and I want to see what I can make with it. Because for me, the bulky projects, it's just, I love things that work up quickly. I love using the bulky, the large hooks. I feel like they're easier on my hands, you know, even though it's heavier. The yarn is heavier. But yeah, I'm super excited. Last year I made a bucket hat pattern, 2 bag patterns. What else did I make? Was that it? Those might have been the only... Oh, I made overalls and a romper pattern for summer. So this year I feel like I've set the bar pretty high. So I just finished a pattern that is going to be out for testing probably in the next couple of weeks, and it's going to release in the summer. And it's a new bag. And then I think I want to do like a water bottle holder. I really want to try to do a crochet coverall shorts. So I did the overalls, but I think it would be fun to do a skirt version of them, but I haven't decided what yarn I'm going to use or what that's going to look like, but it's definitely a goal. I am working with Hobie on a new challenge that they've put out, and I'll get to announce that on Sunday is going to be my first post about that collaboration with Hobie. It is using a new yarn from them that I have not used before, and it's going to be like a summer cardigan shawl wrap kind of thing, which I'm pretty excited about. And I'm using a 19mm hook, so it's going to have, even though it's still a super bulky yarn, it's going to have more of a lacy feel to it. We'll see if the idea that I have in my head actually comes across the way that I want it to. Because it doesn't always work. You know, I'll have an idea in my head, and as I start to work the pattern up, it doesn't turn out so great. But that's okay. That's definitely what the design process is all about. So I have been working on, I have a new apparel design coming out in April. I tried not to put myself in a corner with my business goals. And I feel like we all do this at some point. We set these super strict goals for ourselves, and then the actual goals themselves end up causing stress because it's like you get upset if you don't reach your goals when you set them. So I told myself that this year I was only going to, my goal for apparel designs was going to be at least one new design every 2 months. That was my goal, because I felt like, you know, if I'm trying to release a pattern once a month, new hooks once a month, a new apparel design once a month, that's a lot of things to do in a month. So I decided that with the apparel, I didn't want to burn out and I didn't want to put out designs I didn't like. So I said, okay, every 2 months I'll release apparel. And so January was high fiber diet. So I am really trying to stick with kind of the tattoo style designs. So I released the high fiber diet design in January, and then February, did I release something in February? I don't think I did. So this was released in March. So much yarn, so little time. It's the crochet hook, and the baseball tee style is new for the summer, which is exciting. But I have a new design that's definitely going, it's ready to go, and I'm going to be releasing it this next month. So April. Is it already April? Is it the 1st? Or is tomorrow the 1st? Can't remember. But it's going to release in April, so that'll be new apparel, new stickers, all that fun stuff. And then I just finished another design, so I will have an apparel release in May too. So that's exciting because, you know, like I said, I was worried that I would burn out and not be able to release new designs every month. But when I do, it just feels like, okay, well, that's great. I'm ahead of schedule, you know, so that's kind of nice. So I would love to know if you guys are hanging out, if you have summer projects that you're working on. I would love to know what you're working on if you're not working on a Dobby cardigan with me, or if you are, if you're here and you're working along with me on one of these cardigans, I'd love to know where you're at. I know a lot of people end up ahead of me because I'm being chatty Cathy, but this has been a fun crochet along. And I don't know, I feel like my comments may have been stuck. Let's see. Oh no, they're not. But Marshmallow 1690 said hello. Hello. I had somebody ask the other day about working with brands, since I've done some collaboration with brands, and that's on my list too for either a YouTube video or a live session with another maker, is to talk about, you know, how to reach out to brands and how to work with them. So that's in my head. That's something I need to get on it. And I need to do a pattern roundup. I haven't done a pattern roundup in a minute. I feel like I did one in January. I feel like that was the last one that I did, January or February. It's time for one. It's time for maybe a summer roundup. I did summer tank tops and summer t-shirts last year, like summer tees, crochet patterns, and I did quick summer projects last year. So I may do something similar to that and pick out some more quick, fun summer projects. I feel like that's always nice. Have some new stuff to work on. Ooh, my stomach is rumbling. Probably should have eaten some breakfast. I don't know about you guys, but I tend to be pretty bad about skipping breakfast. And then sometimes I will skip breakfast, but then I'll have breakfast for lunch. So I'll have like a bowl of cereal and a banana for lunch because I skipped breakfast. My husband always gives me crap about that. Says that's not healthy. Well, it's not healthy. It's just, you know, I should probably be eating 3 meals a day. Oh, look at those colors. That's a cool front border. That makes me really happy. Look at that. That's nice. And this is row 4. So I'm halfway there. This is moving pretty quick though. Once you really get going on this front border, you know, it's a very easy, this is a pretty easy pattern to, once you kind of get the first row of each new section, you know, you can turn on Netflix, music, podcasts. You don't have to give it as much attention, which is nice. Thanks for the hearts, guys. Yeah, we got a small crowd today. Got four or five people still joined in. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I haven't had as much cool stuff to talk about today. We did spend some time in the garden a couple days ago. I had to go to the chiropractor. I totally overdid it in the garden. Whoever lived in this house before we did really just kind of let it go. Like, they didn't do anything to upkeep the garden beds or the house. Like, the gutters were in awful condition. You know, the gardens were just full of weeds and overgrown, you know, things that weren't planted there. So we spent probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours in the garden. Maybe it wasn't that long, but it felt like that long. You know, cleaning them out, moving things around, fixing the pavers. You know, there were pavers that had gotten washed out of place. And I was so sore. My forearm is still sore. So I guess from like using the shovel, you know, if I put my arm out straight and I pulled my wrist down, it was like whatever is right here, that was really sore. Margaret's Crochet, you put your yarn over like a knitter. It's amazing how many different ways people crochet. Yes, and I did knit for a long time. So I don't know if maybe that was an influence. I learned knitting and crochet at the same time from my art teacher. So it was actually my high school art teacher that taught me. But I do think that's interesting because my husband's aunt maybe was over for something, and I was crocheting and she was watching me, and there was something that I was doing where she was like, she made me slow down so she could really watch what I was doing. But there was something that I was doing that she did like the exact opposite. And, you know, she had learned as a little girl. So yeah, it's very interesting. And I don't know if you guys have seen, I guess there's a way that you can crochet with one hand, which I think is really interesting. I feel like that's something I need to look into just as a challenge. You know, fire up those neurons in the brain and make some new connections and try something new. I was saying earlier that I try to switch between knife grip, which is what I'm using now, and pencil grip, because my thumb will start to get sore when I do this. Yes, there's videos on YouTube about people who can crochet with one hand. I'm still not 100% sure how they hold their yarn. But see, this is pencil grip. So I can crochet with pencil grip, but I'm having to teach myself. So I have to practice it because it is definitely not, it's not the way I learned, and it doesn't feel super natural to me, but I'm getting better. It doesn't slow me down too much to do it this way. And again, I think it's worth the challenge. And if you crochet a lot, and to the point where you're pushing through pain, or you're wearing, you know, if you're having to wear like compression gloves and stuff, it might be worth teaching yourself different grips, because, you know, it's going to work the different muscles in your hand differently. So sometimes it can kind of feel like you're taking a break, even if you're not. So that's why I taught myself that. I thought that would be nice. I really need to teach myself to just do it with my left hand, but I'm pretty sure that you have to do it completely different. Like I couldn't switch to my left hand. I'd have to like go the opposite direction. I remember one time when I was teaching a crochet class, which I think I taught 3 crochet classes my whole life. I went through a phase where I just tried it out, you know, to see if it was worth my time, if I enjoyed it. And that was right before I got a full-time job in an office. And so that's what kind of, you know, stopped me from continuing to teach classes. But one of the classes that I taught, someone showed up and they were left-handed. And that was super interesting because she knew, like when she came in, that she probably, you know, that I wouldn't know how to teach her with the left hand. But I just forced myself to kind of think through the basic movements and use my left hand. And she did actually get some of the basic stitches. So that was pretty cool, you know. It was quite the challenge though. So, yeah. But these are the only 2 grips I've used. I've only used pencil grip and knife grip. And even pencil grip, I think my pencil grip is different from other people's pencil grip because I like spread my hand out. I don't know if some people actually hold it up higher. And of course my little pinky is sticking out like I'm all fancy. I feel like I'm using it as a counterbalance when I stick my pinky out like that. Kind of like animals and their tails. I am getting to the end of this cake. So this is all I have left. That's it. Margaret's Crochet says, I'm a pencil grip crocheter. It's the way I was taught. I've been back to crocheting for almost 2 years after a long break, and a couple months ago, finally found a way to hold my yarn to keep tension. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember being at a show when I was selling stuff at you know, craft shows, and a lady came up and she commented on my tension, and she said, you know, that my stitches looked really nice. And she said that she was a crocheter, and, you know, for her, tension had really come naturally. And she said over time, she found that tension is one of those things that either it comes very naturally, and like when you learn to crochet, it's very easy for you to keep your stitches even and to maintain your tension, or you really have to work at it. She said she felt like when she had taught classes and seen people learning to crochet, that it really was two groups. You know, either you caught on almost immediately on your tension and were able to just maintain it, or it was something that you really had to work at. And I thought that was interesting because I've never had an issue with tension that I can remember. Now, you know, I don't know, when I was learning in high school, maybe that was an issue when I first started. But I don't remember it being enough to keep me from, you know, wanting to crochet and wanting to keep doing it. So I'm about to have to go get another thing of yarn because I am almost done. I don't know how much time do I have left. Let's see. I usually stay on for about an hour. Oh, we got 10 minutes. So I should be able to join up another one. And I can go ahead and try this on too. I say in my pattern for this cardigan that you want to try it on as you go so that you can decide how many front border rows you want. Because you don't have to do all of them, and you can do more of them if you want to do more. So that is the end of my yarn cake there, and this is what we're looking like. So you can see now that the hood actually has more length to it, and that's the view from the side. So I'm going to try it on and see what we are looking like. Whoop. Oh, I'm caught. There we go. Okay. So this is what it looks like. And let's see. Oh, yeah. So I got the, oh yeah, here we go. So I'll definitely want at least one more row because even here, it's going to kind of sit back on my head. This hood does have like a bit of a pixie hood look to it. You can like, you can't tuck that down in there, but you could do like, yarn down the bottom and kind of cinch it a little bit if you don't like that, but that's just because of the way that it is sewn up right here. But that is how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 rows and it calls for 8. So I would have like 3 more, which would be nice because if it sits back on my head a little bit, I'll have more space. And that does allow me to cross this over now. And if it's just sitting, it kind of just touches in the front, but it will have a little more overlap. And then we will also have a bottom border down here. And you can make the bottom border a little bit longer if you want to, but so far so good. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm happy. And the colors are nice. I'll show you guys the back piece. It does not match up with the front because you work the back piece first and then you come forward with these. So the color changes are more pronounced in the back because you're working across a longer space versus the front. You're just working back and forth this way. So the panels are a lot larger, but it's pretty fun. I'm pretty happy with how everything is matching up and looking. But obviously, like I said, still need my sleeves, and I need to go ahead and grab another cake of this. And I bought so much of this stuff, I could probably make a whole nother one. So this is what I'm using again, so you guys can see. Whoop, there we go. Aran Chunky Cakes. Marcus Crochet says, I didn't have an issue with the tension until I started testing patterns. I wanted to have nicer stitches. Tried a lot of different ways and ended up having the yarn wrapped around my middle and a ring finger. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, you could put a pom-pom on the hood of this one because it's like the little pixie hood that pokes up like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and join my next yarn piece. And I kind of wish, I hate that it's going to change colors so rapidly. That's the only problem with changing the cake over, because it's going to go straight back to pink. And this is what it did. So it went from neon to teal, and then it's going to go right back to pink. But there's 2 colors before the teal, so I don't really want to have to cut that out. I do have some leftover white, maybe, if I can remember where I put it. Where did I put that? Maybe not. I could have sworn I had extra, but maybe I didn't. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I have this, and maybe I could use this because I don't have a lot of white in the cardigan. So maybe I could use this white and then move back to the pink. I think that could be cool. And at least it's, because I've already got so much pink here, that at least I could probably finish this with the white. So I think I'm going to do that. So I've got this little mini cake that actually came out of the center. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's do that. And I'll at least finish this one before I sign off today. And like I said, all these videos do get posted to YouTube. So if you decide you want to make one of these cardigans along with me, you can start from the beginning and, you know, watch part 1 first and then watch all the way through. And you can make one of these with me. Let's see, where did my, there it is, found my hook. Okay, so I'm going to finish this with the white. Because like I said, the only white I have is the top of the hood, I think. And like the first row of this border. So yeah, I think that will be nice. I think that'll be good. A good way to do that. And then we'll go back to pink. Because there's quite a bit of this in this little mini cake. And this is row 5? Yeah, row 5. And I'm supposed to do 8. So, and that's pretty much the same. The smallest size, so the extra, extra small, you only do 7 rows. And then for the next 3 sizes, extra, extra small, 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 medium, medium, large, you do 8. And then large XL, XL 2X, 2X, 3X, you do 9 front border rows. And then 3X, 4X, and 4X, 5X, you'll do 10 front border rows. Just makes it a little bigger. And again, you don't have to do all of them, you know, especially if it's causing the hood to be way too big, then you can not do as many of the rows, which works too. Make sure I didn't miss any comments from you guys. Check my other cakes. I know I could have checked my other cakes and seen how they ended. That would have been smart too, or how they started. Because I have like 3 more cakes of that. I bought a lot of that stuff. I think I was planning to double it up when I made something. Because I'll do that a lot. Usually I'll buy like a size 5 and then I'll double it up to make a size 6 and make something with that. But then I decided to make a Dobby so I could use a size 5. I feel like I need to figure out a time to go live that's not just at lunchtime. So I feel like that holds a lot of people back from being able to make it on these lives. So I need to look into that, or figure out like a Saturday or Sunday morning maybe. That would be nice. I can get up and make my coffee and just hop on for a little while and work on some stuff on a weekend. Let me know what you guys think, if that would be a good idea. But these are really, you know, I think people join in less for these lives. But I feel like people go back and watch them because of the Crochet-A-Long. I know I've had a lot of people go back through and watch the Luna Crochet-A-Long videos for sure. So it'll be interesting to see if this is the same way. But I enjoy it. It's nice to just be able to be on here and say hey and see what you guys are up to. Okay. I'm coming right along with row 6. Oh yeah, and this isn't going to last too long, this white. It is already, this little mini cake is already almost done. Okay. I think it's so interesting, this whole going live crocheting thing. I feel like some people, I've joined in and they won't even be saying anything. They'll just be crocheting, and I guess a lot of people just like to watch maybe. I don't know. I always feel like I need to say things. I feel like I need to be talking the entire time. But I think that's just my personality. I am definitely a talker. But the problem is when you're live, there's nobody actually talking back to you, you know. So unless people are asking questions or keeping the conversation going in the comments, sometimes it's hard to know what to say. Cinder's listening while she's working. That's usually what I hear. I'm glad to have you joining in. I feel like I don't have as much to talk about. Like I said, we were in the garden. I guess I didn't finish that story. That we spent all that time in the garden, and for my birthday, I had gotten some bulbs for like gladiolas maybe. So I got to plant all of those, and we really, really did some work in the front garden bed. It still needs work. We got all the leaves out, the dead leaves from the fall, and we split up a couple of flower bushes and shrubs and replanted some things just to like move things around. But it still needs some work. There's still a lot of weeds that need to be pulled up, and you know, we're probably going to go buy some flowers this year and plant some more things. But I am definitely not the gardener of the family. It's never been something I've been really passionate about, but my husband is very passionate about it. So, and we enjoy doing things together. So even if gardening isn't my passion, if we're doing something together and if we're out in the garden, then it's nice, you know, because we're getting to spend time together and work on projects. So I do enjoy that. Even though, like I said, I was so sore after working in the garden. I'm excited this year to share that more with you guys once we really get things growing, because we got all of these really big raised beds in the back that I can share with you guys and show you that progress. Right now we don't have anything planted in them for real. I think he planted some herb seeds just to see if they would sprout, but he has big plans for that garden out back. And then what we were working in the couple days ago was the front garden that's just kind of like little beds for shrubs and things. Okay, so that is the end of my little cake, that mini cake that came out. It was like the yarn vomit out of the center of one of the last cakes. I've got a hair in here. Where did it go? I saw it. Oh, definitely one of those people that my hair gets in everything. Okay, so time to try it on again, because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 rows. So we'll see how that looks. And then I probably will go ahead and sign off for the day, because there's no way I'm going to finish 2 more rows and not be like way over time. But that's looking pretty good. Let me stand up and move the camera up so you guys can really see. So this is what we're working with. This is 6 rows around the top, and it ends right here. So I haven't completed the 6th row, but that's what we're working with. It is a little bigger, so I made the small / medium, but I also, my gauge was a little off. So it is a little wider, but that just means I can wrap it like this. But that's how it looks. And just so you guys know, my belly button is like right here. And I'm going to add 2 rows of single crochet. So I think my hip bones are end up here. Is that right? So like my waist is right here. Most of my cardigans are shorter, but if you like your cardigans longer, you can always start the pattern out making it longer. So you would make the back panel longer. So if you add 4 rows to the back panel, you would just add 4 rows to both front panels, and that would extend your length. And then you would just have more stitches up the front panel, so you guys can see up close. Those front panel stitches, you can see where I joined with the light pink yarn into the front panel. Some people have added pockets, especially if they add length, you can add pockets. And that's pretty much it. So you would just have more stitches up the front row, same amount of stitches around the hood. Or you can make your hood bigger. Some people have made the hood a little bit bigger. But it seems to be laying nice and flat. So that's nice. I did want to show you guys before I go, I have my newest project. This is going to be a summer pattern release, I used 2 strands of Hobby ribbon yarn, Hobie ribbon yarn, and I made this bucket bag, and I used a lucette fork to make cord out of the 2 strands of ribbon yarn. So I do need to do a tutorial video on using the lucette. But what I did is it's one big long strand of lucette of I-cord, and I ran it through this piece out this side. So if you look on the inside, you can see, let's see if you can actually see that. Oh, I need to weave in my ends. So you can see down here, oh, you can't, but you can probably see that peeking in there, how the cord runs through the inside in there. So it runs in one side and then out this side, up here, through here, and then out. So like, if I open this, there you go. So it's one big long piece, and I just ran it in one side, out the other side, through here, and then the other side went through here. And that just made it really easy because you're not having to attach it to anything. You're just weaving it through. And then I tied the knot. Let me do that again. Oop, or I tied the bow. I tied it into a bow. And you actually don't have to undo the bow because, whoop, so you've got your handles. And then when you open it, it just cinches the handles up. So you can access in here without doing, without undoing this. And then once you want to put it on your back again, you just grab the handles and cinch it. So you've got your handles. But that's what it's going to look like. And I'll put it on so you guys can see the back. Oh, get it on there. There we go. But that's what it looks like on. So it's a good little fit. And I think it'll just have to be one of those things where you can kind of try it on as you go once you start weaving the pieces in, because I'm not sure how much more length I'll need to add, if someone's not my size, if they want to add more, because this will be one size, but you'd want to make the straps longer. And then I feel like you could easily do a flap. I'm not going to add one for the pattern because I want it to be really, really, really simple. But you could literally attach your yarn here and work across and work up like this and make a little flap that comes down over the front if you wanted. But yeah, I'm really excited. It turned out great. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but this was scrap yarn left over from my Babe with the Yarn bag that I made last summer. So it's leftover yarn. And I love it. I'm super happy with it. So I hope you guys like it too. I will need testers for this, so you can kind of be on the lookout for that. Probably in the next week or so, I may do a test because this will be a quick test. And you will be able to use really any yarn that matches the gauge, but the ribbon yarn is very sturdy. And I'll actually show you. Let's see if I've got anything I can put in here that's heavy. I don't even know if I do. Let me see. Oh, I guess I could use these. So this is pretty heavy. This is a big thing of envelopes. These are the envelopes that I send my stickers out with. So let's put that down in there because that's pretty heavy. Just so you guys can see how it holds up the structure. Okay, so I'm tightening that up. You can kind of see because it's a square box, but like that holds that really nice, and it's not losing its shape. And it's not stretching out too large, so like the holes are not getting too big. So I feel like it'll be super functional if you use something like ribbon yarn because it'll hold its structure. That or like the Hobie Bungee Mini that I used for the Mariner bag. That would be nice too. So wanted to share that. Ooh, wanted to share that with you guys before I went. But this is where we're at. This is the end of part 7 for the Dobby Crochet-A-Long. I have 2 more rows to do. 2 more rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 2 more rows to do for this. And then we're going to move on to the bottom border for part 8 and start adding the first sleeve on part 8. So probably be 9 or 10 of these total. But my next one is going to be over on YouTube. I'll be live on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central Time, but you can always catch up later if you're not able to make it live. But until next time, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope you have some fun, have some time to relax. I hope the weather is nice. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, everybody.